It's been ages since I've used this camera to do anything, and this is not going to be high 8 because it's just a Video8 tape, but I originally wasn't going to record a video of the camera that was in this bag. Oh, look at this. Anybody remember that? That's a 35mm film capsule cap. Checking just to see if there's anything else in here. Oh yeah, there's a couple batteries. RCA batteries. Can't remember if I put anything in there. Oh, yeah, I did. There's a tape case that I can use. But this is obviously an RCA bag. Well, you might not know that just by looking at it. Although if you take a look at the zippers, you can certainly see the RCA logo. And there was an RCA camera in it, sitting right here. This is the very definition of worn out beyond the point of being worn out. It's an RCA Pro850. Video8 camcorder, not high 8 or digital 8 or anything like that, with a CCD solid state image sensor, as it so proudly states. This right here, this viewfinder piece, it's broken. I think there's some plastic pieces in there that are completely gone, but that comes off. The only thing this really is it's just like a magnifier for the view screen, which is just a CRT picture tube. This is supposed to come out, I think. And actually, I think this is supposed to latch on it, but it doesn't actually even latch. So I don't know why that is. I think this EVF button's got something to do with this this piece here, because it does say EVF usually stands for electronic viewfinder. We've got adjust and select, advance and select, sorry. AV dub, time lapse, that would have been a cool feature. Display, counter reset, titler review, shutter button, manual zoom control, so you know that this thing is hellaciously old. It does have an autofocus lens. There's the video output. Completely proprietary. Didn't get the cable for it, but that's alright. It's not Ross's fault. This is something that Ross gave me. He didn't have the cable anyways. There's the tally light. There's your controls. This thing is plugged in. Tape door is there. Earphone and microphone wind cut setting. There's the microphone. It's monophonic. 6x video zoom lens. This thing's got hellaciously bad capacitors. That's not the nicest noise I've ever heard. But if I go and I stick my nose in here, I can smell it. There is that distinct fishy smell. It's not really noticeable at all. I mean, you can tell it's there, but it's not the most noticeable thing in the world. However, this one is pretty far gone. I don't think there's a hope in the world that this can be saved. Watch what happens when I turn this on, and you'll be able to see it pretty clearly. So we'll put it into camera mode. Oh yeah. Well, this thing won't focus on it, but that is blinking all over the place. I think you could probably tell even if it's not focusing. Oh wow, that was bad. Whoops. I'm going to see if I can potentially get the, maybe if I change the exposure level. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see it. So that's bad. In fact, it's so bad, and this is the worst I've ever seen, that it doesn't even work in VCR mode. That's the picture output in VCR mode. Most of these will at least attempt to work in VCR mode, and they will play something sometimes, if they're good enough. But obviously this one is just so bad that, well, it doesn't work. And recording to tape is no better. Not sure if you'd be able to see it or not. Actually, it's not doing it now. Go ahead and we'll zoom. Yeah, it's not doing it. Before it was focusing like crazy. So now that's not even working. Zoom control does do something on this camera. Of course, you can't really hope for it to work because the thing doesn't work. It's only got 6x zoom, so it's just like that that other Sony camera. Where is that? That's hiding right over there. So all in all, could have been a nice camera, but and again, I don't want to cast any aspersions on anybody. This isn't exactly Ross's fault that this camera doesn't work. It's just purely an old camera. S60, I wonder if that's an error code. Could be an error code. I might have to look that up. Or that could just be the tape time. Displaying a tape time just because, why not, eh? So, that's pooched. I don't know if I'm going to include any of the test footage that I took on this. I took maybe about 5 seconds of test footage. It's not really much. It's a bunch of blinking rainbow lines, basically. Maybe audio, but I would be very surprised if the audio sounded like anything, other than just a bunch of muffled distortion, considering how far gone this camera is. So I don't know what I'll do with it. The bag is useful. The bag is very useful. Like this bag is in almost pristine condition. So I can use this, no problem, for other cameras. Like, hey, maybe even this Sony Handycam here. This is the one that I was trying to show you earlier. Maybe that one can go in there. I don't know yet. This one, actually, because of its smaller size, this one may actually go into the other camera bag. I've got my my original bag right there. That one actually came with the first VHS-C camera that I bought. And now this camera's not focusing. Oh, for crap's sakes. There we go. Let's try that again. That bag. The one that I bought with the first VHS-C camera I bought. Well, the second one. I still have the first one. It also succumbed to bad caps. But the first actual compact VHS-C camera, the one that can actually fit in your hand. Well, they both could fit in your hand. Okay, I don't know if I'll have a better way of describing it other than this. But my first VHS-C camera was something like the size of that Samsung over there. And the second one is the size of that. So that's what I mean when I say compact. Okay, so that's it for the video. May include a little bit of test footage. Probably won't, though. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then. Alright, so here's what we got. I'm actually making this follow-up to show you all something, but first of all, the lens cap is worth saving. I don't know if this is worth anything at all. I think it's broken, personally. I don't think that's worth anything. I can't imagine anybody's got one of these. But this camera does something I have never seen another camera do before. By the way, if it looks a little weird, it's because I took this piece off for the lens cap. Because I think that this is actually a standard thread. And the lens cap is not a standard thread, so I might as well keep that. Just in case. Maybe use adapters if I need it. But let's go ahead and plug it back in. Here's the power adapter. Also very proprietary. One end is there. I think that's what? The negative, and then the positive is on the top. So you can't just use any universal battery. Very sleazy on the part of RCA. Or maybe Sony. I imagine this was probably a Sony camera. Let's go ahead and plug it in. I used to be that playing around with these buttons, while it didn't make the zoom control do anything, it would make the camera focus. Yeah, it is doing it. The camera's off right now. Just thought I'd point that out. Maybe if I give it something to focus on. Yeah, it is doing it. Of course, now you can't see it, because this one won't focus. But the camera is focusing itself. And the camera power is turned off. Viewfinder's not on. I have no idea what is possessing it to do this kind of behavior. Other than maybe potentially bad capacitors are leaking voltage into the circuitry. Which, given the massive behavior issues this camera has got, well, that is certainly possible. But that's weird. It is focusing with the power turned off. I don't think that was a feature of this camera when it was brand new, but maybe it was. Camera's on at the back. Well, anyways, I think that's pretty much it. There's your weird behavior of the day. That's just strange. I have never seen a camera do that. And there it goes again. Weird, man.